Welcome to the Manny Perez Show, the show that covers, works on, and solves our community's issues. Yes, we can with the Manny Perez Show. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Manny Perez Show. And I'm Manny Manuel Perez, your public servant, community leader, political leader, and success coach dedicated to my community. And with me is our journalist, Gabriela Ascanio, and our production engineer, Julio Camacho. And today we're going to be talking about healthy mind, healthy body, looking at it from the point of view of a life coach that sees that our physical and emotional health are critical for success. So now, Gabriel Ascano is going to mention the first bit of news that we're going to be dealing with from the point of view of our body and our emotions.
Hi, everybody. Okay, we're going to start with the news. So, we already know that shootings has been rising up in this city, and we already talked that we don't want to go back to where we were, feeling unsafe in your own house, in your own city, going to work or going to anywhere you want to go. So, this year is no different. It's been only a few days since the year's begin, and we already have a lot of shootings, especially in a hotel here in Queens that I believe is going to be shut down for good because there has been already a lot of complaints of people shooting, and has already been on a teenager that has been killed because of that. So there's a lot of people that go to the streets and start shooting everyone and start shooting to the sky, and they don't have nothing better to do. And a lot of police officers that has been uh, injured with a gunshot. And you just have to take care of yourself. Don't go out on the streets, especially if you're a woman. Don't go in a dark alley or in a dark street by yourself if you have to, because you go to work and you go back to your house and it's really dark at night. Just be careful. Look to your surroundings and protect yourself, because a gunshot is, I don't think it's something good to experience.
To say the least, Gabriela.
Yeah.
Gunshots can be very painful and it is scary. And it's something that we have to think about because if you're afraid, there are two things that fear has to do. One is the fear of going outside, the fear of getting hurt. But then there's the fear of getting hurt because you said something. So you protect the criminal that has the gun. Anybody who is not a policeman who has a gun in this city is breaking the law. Let me put it simply. And I know there are people that say, no, 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 I only have a gun to protect myself. Well, you're breaking the law. Oh, I have a knife to protect myself. Uh, I don't know. You shouldn't be carrying weapons. Because if you're carrying weapons, you're promoting the fear and you're creating conditions where people can get hurt, their bodies. Children have gotten hurt seriously and killed, adults also, people who had nothing to do with the situation. They accidentally got hurt. And it's an accident from their point of view. But from the person that had a gun, I'm sorry, that was no accident. You had a gun. And that means you hurt somebody. Now, as a coach, we look at physical dangers, and what we say is, how do we reduce the risk? How can we be safer? Well, one of them, the basic elements for reducing risk is yes, calling the police if you know that somebody has an illegal gun. Right now, we have cameras all over the place. So the police can find out who commits a crime. But honestly, if you wait for somebody to shoot someone so the police can show up, I think you're going late. We really need to act in advance and make sure that nobody gets shot. You might, in many cases, consider that this could be also gang warfare. Local gangs do sometimes fall into violence, and it can be very dangerous for people like us. That's when we have to all get together and say, okay, what are we going to do? Because when we have a local gang, a lot of our children are involved, and they're probably even more scared than we are. So, as a community, my invitation and as a coach is people have to talk and find solutions. Now, emotionally, fear. If you are afraid, you will make bad decisions. So please find ways to not be afraid. Use strategies that reduce the dangers so you're not afraid. I mean, when I grew up in the city, there were places in the city that I would not go. Why? Because everybody knew if you went in there, you ran the risk of getting shot, of getting beat up, of getting hurt. Gabriela mentioned about going into dark alleys. I know an alley is a wonderful shortcut. Hey, that's one of the great things about Queens. We have lots of shortcuts, but if it's dark, it can be very dangerous. So please reduce your risk. Just handle it, think, and do something that helps you. Let's move on, Gabriela. What's the next bit of news you have?
The next one is something really curious that I saw and I wanted to share because it's not funny, but it's weird because it's the first time that I know about it. There's been a series of attacks by squirrels. A lot of squirrels has been attacking people, and they're going rushing to the hospital to take the shot against the rabies. And it's funny because I that's like a fairy animal. I see a squirrel and I think about Disney, and I want to touch them, I want to pet him, I want to play with the squirrel, but I'm scared and I won't do it because I know they can bite. If they bite, and they carry a lot of diseases, so I'm not, I don't think I'm going to try to play with them again. So I think that is not as unusual as I thought it were. But you see a squirrel and it's cute. It's similar to a rat, but it's not a rat because it's cute.
No, no, no. Different from a rat, definitely. They're both rodents, but no. Squirrels are cute, I have to admit, and they're very intelligent, and there are people that feed them. I know that from years ago, I was told, and I told my children to be careful because squirrels can bite you. If you're trying to give them food right on the palm of your hand, hey, you might get bit. It's a risk. And I said risk before for getting shot. Well, now we've got the risk for getting bit. And yes, they're cute animals. They're lovely. But the best thing if you want to feed them is put a little bit of food somewhere and then walk away. Let the squirrel go to the food, take it, and move on. I know that some people like, just grabbing a lot of bread and breaking it up and throwing it on the ground. Only warning there, you might be feeding mice, rats, simply because you put too much food, and the squirrels won't eat all of it.
And pigeons also.
Pigeons. We live in a city, and part of the problem is that some of our animals, because we're all concentrated and stuck together, some of the animals can transmit diseases. Squirrels can transmit rabies. I'm sorry. Pigeons can transmit other diseases. Worse yet, we've got the pandemic going on, so that's people transmitting diseases. We do have to be careful. We have to take care of our physical health and, yes, the emotional health. And if you do like squirrels and you get excited when you see them, just take pictures of them. I mean, you can take pictures and post them on social media and enjoy them. Because, yes, squirrels can be a lot of fun to watch, but be safe. How are we doing time wise, Gabriela?
We have 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay. I'm going to mention the issue of COVID just because it is of concern. And many people are afraid. The people that are afraid of getting COVID, yes, that hurts them sometimes because they're very sad. They're sad that they can't go out, because of fear of getting COVID. They're they're limiting their lives. And I just want to point out there are just three things that we have right now that protect against COVID: face masks, social distancing, and the vaccine. And the vaccines that we have right now are two-dose vaccines. You get one dose, gives you a little bit of protection, but you got to get the second dose. It's a matter of handling your risks so you don't have to be afraid. In my case, I know that as soon as I can get a vaccine, I'm getting it. And I'll take care of getting the second dose. And I'll continue wearing my face mask and maintaining social distancing because I want to be safe and I don't want to be afraid. So, having said that, we're going to take a little break at this time. Manny, Manuel Perez, and Gabriela Ascanio, our journalist, at the Manny Perez Show, and we are going to be right back. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Manny Perez Show. I'm Manny Manuel Perez, always here for you, your life coach, your community leader, political leader. Yeah, always here looking for solutions for my community. And with me is Gabriela Ascanio, our journalist, and Julio Camacho, our production engineer. And today we're talking about our bodies, our emotions, our mind, how we can live better and make 2021 a better year for all of us. Now, the first part of the program, we spoke about a few issues, but right now I'm going to go straight into something that you've probably been waiting for. What happened at the Capitol on Wednesday? Was it a coup attempt? Was it an attempt to bring down our democracy? Well, I got to tell you, I've lived through military coups. I've seen them. Gabriela's seen similar things. We both come from Venezuela. And I got to tell you, it's scary. It's scary when you hear gunshots, when you see people being violent, destroying things that they have no reason to destroy. With the capital being invaded by violent people, 4 people died. Those people should not have died. The capital is supposed to be safe. The capital is one of our institutions for democracy, for the rule of law, not for people running in, destroying things, stealing. You know, that had no reason for happening, much less was there reason for leaders, elected representatives, including the president, to be saying that that was okay, that people were destroying things. No. We live in the United States of America, where destruction is not allowed because we are building a better country every day. I mean, I understand somebody defending their lives, but purposefully going to destroy something? I'm sorry. As a life coach, I'm totally against that by definition. But as a community and political leader, I have to be against it because I live in a country that promotes life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. There's no fear in there. Anybody that's pushing fear, I'm sorry, you're not following what the United States stands for. And hurting people physically, causing people's deaths, I'm sorry, that's not part of what the United States stands for. Are there people that have to, as the song says, stand between our homes and the war's desolation? Yes, there are some people that have to address violence. They're our frontline defense against those that would hurt us. And I invite you all to consider it because as hey, it's like the gun violence we were talking about in the first part of the program. We've seen it already in the news. People who, because they're just following a message of hate, all of a sudden they come with firearms and shoot someone. And they'll stand up and they'll say, it's my right to have a firearm. It's my right to carry a gun. I'm sorry, it's not your right to hurt people. And sadly, where there are guns, I know there are accidents that happen. I know it because I have military family. So I've seen it. When people start playing with guns, it can get very dangerous. I don't want you to be afraid. I want you to decide that you don't have to be afraid, that we can have a good democracy, that we can actually take action to protect ourselves without having to be afraid. So what do? Well, first thing is you come together as a community. You don't hide. And as a community, we find solutions. If you see that somebody has a message that you like, support them. And this is going to sound maybe contradictory, but emotionally, you should support whoever you believe in. You should donate money, yes. You should study what they say and figure out how you can help them. But if that person is promoting hate and fear, well, I advise you to think about it because that hate and fear will affect you, will limit your success. And success comes because we do our best, not because we're hiding in fear or because we're hating and hurting other people. That doesn't give us success. I invite you to get in touch with me with this program and share things. And Gabriela, I think we have time for one more bit of news.
Yeah, it's a good news.
Yes, good.
Yes, last week we talked about somebody destroying a community fridge outside Senator Jessica Ramos. And I saw this weekend that that fridge has been replaced. The community came together and donated, contribute. They made a contribution. I think more than $30,000 was raised, and it's something really good to know because the community. That means that when you care, you do something about it, and that was a really bad news. Now we have a lot of money to help people that needs the help, and they bought a new fridge and they are going to fill it up with a lot of food for a lot of people, and that makes us really happy because there's a lot of bad news everywhere, and something as good as this makes it perfect to close this program.
Yes, because these are people that literally put their money where their mouths were. They wanted to support their neighbors, so they donated money. They found a solution. They weren't going to be afraid. They weren't going to hide because whoever destroyed the refrigerator could hurt them. No. As a community, we can find solutions always. And I invite you, think about your body, your physical welfare, think about your emotional welfare, and improve them because that's the way to have a better future. Well, everyone, this is Manny Manuel Perez with Gabriela Ascanio and Julio Camacho, and I'll be seeing you next Monday. We can. Thank you for joining us on the Manny Perez Show, the show that covers, works on, and solves our community's issues. Yes, we can. The Manny Perez Show.